Hi, we're Thrifty, and this is our presentation for Sprint 2. Thrifting is the process of buying used goods. These goods can range anywhere from clothes, furniture, appliances, to textbooks. Although there are already apps out there, our research showed that they don't fully solve the problem of making online thrifting accessible. Some problems we found were that buyers don't want to pay for shipping, sellers don't want to package and ship their items, sellers don't want to pay for app commissions, and people prefer in-person exchanges but want to feel safe dealing with strangers. We also found that students on college campuses want to sell their old items. Knowing this problem space, we decided to create Thrifty. Our goal is to enhance the online thrifting experience through a social media app that safely connects buyers to sellers on college campuses and facilitates convenient in-person exchanges. From doing user interviews, we found that a large reason why people don't choose to sell their items is because it takes too much time to list them. Thus, we propose a new bins feature that mimics the idea of just putting your clothes out in a cardboard box. Each item only needs a name and picture, and it's up to the seller to be as granular as they want in terms of description and bin organization. For example, the seller could categorize multiple items in a room decor bin, or they can just dump everything in one generic bin. Another issue with current apps is that they only have the ability to list items for sale. When you scroll through Poshmark feeds, it's common to see a listing titled in search of with an item that someone is looking for. The lack of separation between products for sale and requests were annoying for people we interviewed. Thus, we proposed having a dedicated request page where people can post about things that they want. This page can also help connect buyers to nearby sellers who have the item.
The goal of our prototype was to answer how users feel about listing and shopping for items using bins, displaying buyer requests separately from the Explore feed, which only shows seller listings, and having this application limited to college campuses.
We expect our primary user to be similar to Jane, an environmentally conscious student who wants to shop secondhand but doesn't have access to a car. She'll use Thrifty to access a variety that a city's worth of thrifting has to offer within reach, letting her build a community with various reliable sellers on her college campus. We can imagine Jane logging into her thrifting account on a regular day. She's likely bored in class browsing or looking for new pieces to shake up her style. She'll spend most of her time scrolling on the Explore page, looking around at boxes. However, she's looking for a fun new hat and will filter. When she does, Emily's post catches her eye, so she immediately saves her box and messages her to ask about the hat. After much deliberation, they settle on a price and meeting time. If she hadn't found Emily's hat, she would have resorted to the request page to ask the Georgia Tech community. Finally, though she may not use it very often, she can sell items in a box of her own and view her boxes on her profile.
For our value proposition canvas, we determined how our solution meets both the buyers and sellers' needs. Both the buyer and seller gain a sense of ethical consumerism and an increased sense of safety when meeting. Our solution relieves the buyer and seller from having to find transportation to pick up and sell items, paying shipping and purchasing fees, and ensures that quality is guaranteed before purchase and not after.
And finally, from user research, we determined a couple of things. First off, that thrifting should be a social experience. Second off, that some people didn't actually understand the bin feature. And lastly, we knew that Explore and Request pages were the most used, with an average of 1 minute and 3 minutes respectively. So that should have the most effort that goes into them. For how we do the bin system, well, if people don't understand it, then a quick little one-time pop-up could be a good solution, or maybe even an info button. We also have the idea for social being putting a seller image next to their bin, or having some kind of icon, how a playlist might have. Finally, we also want to test out different sell pages because the more time someone spends on the sell page, the more inconvenient it is for them. Over the next sprint, we should focus on creating an actual app so we'd be able to collect data algorithmically.